Silverrun Forest is the map that you get with the Platinum DLC. As you can probably tell from the name, it focuses incredibly heavily on logging and rock removal, as well as there are some mining aspects and a really cool feature on the map as well. It's been incredibly fun to play it this week, and spoiler alert, I highly recommend you giving this a go. Logging materials and machines are not the easiest to grasp, especially if you don't have a joystick, but once you do, it's possibly some of the most rewarding gameplay that I have ever had playing Farm Sim, and I highly recommend it. As you can see from the layout, it is all forest land and hills. You can see from the contours here that there is a lot of rocks and stuff as well. There is a massive train line with your very typical sort of freight line that goes around. Only some of the roads have a train barrier, so you do have to be careful when going around because the train will just come and hit you. It doesn't move incredibly fast, but fast enough to knock you flying. Also on the map there are a couple of areas with some predetermined vehicles. One is a forklift and the other is one of the Volvo front loaders. You can get in these items, you can get in these vehicles, you just can't quick switch to them from what I've seen. It might have been because I was playing on multiplayer all week, but you can't quick switch into them, but you can go down and get in them and drive them around, which is kind of cool as well. There aren't many crops on this field. There are two main fields and then you've got some different farmland here, 41 and 42 for example, that you can, I'm assuming, mine on. It's just meadowland that I have baled first, and then you can apparently do mining on there by buying a mining tower, which is something else that you get with the Platinum DLC. It's a very big map, and one of the biggest problems that I've got with it is that the tools that you buy, some of the equipment doesn't move very fast, so it can feel like a chore to get to where you're going. If you're doing, say, a forest transport or a wood transport job, it can take as long to get to the job as it does to actually do the job that you're doing for the contract, so just bear that in mind. However, one of the best things about this map is just how cheap everything is. The land, specifically. You can buy this rather huge area here for a measly 215,000. The two plots of land that I bought were literally less than 100,000 each. The meadow land here is incredibly cheap. It was 50 grand and 36 grand. So land is incredibly cheap to buy and you can make a lot of money from it. If you zoom in, we do have a town area with lots of production points and selling points, and something down here which I'm going to show you in a bit as well is a repair sort of quest that the map gives you. Honestly, this area here is probably it's the antithesis and the absolute best part of this map, and I hope they bring something with the Season 2 DLC maps that they're bringing out. Something similar in vein that you can sort of work towards. Very cool. Overall, it's really kind of handy. I haven't been able to find a rest point. I had to buy a farmhouse on some of the pieces of land that I bought, but there are lots of road sort of areas and open playing bits that you can feasibly get to and start building sheds and stuff to keep your equipment on, which is kind of nice. You can pretty much get to anywhere from anywhere on this map, and again, it's all about logging. Logging is the name of the game, destroying rocks. One thing that I do wish they would transport over to other maps is the contracts. The contracts on this map are different to anything else I've got. You've got deadwood contracts, you've got rock removal, and you've got tree transport. You don't get those on normal maps, even though normal maps, Erlengrat for example, perfect example, where you have masses of landmass with trees and stuff on, you don't get deadwood and you don't get tree transport, which is a shame because those contracts would be fun and would add a new dynamic to normal arable farmland where you could plant trees and do forestry and stuff, and it would teach you how to do it. I don't see why you've got to have a platinum DLC in order to open these contracts up. It's a bit of a shame. In fact, there's a lot of a shame, because tree transport plays really well for realistically not a lot of work, right? Even if you borrow the equipment, you're still going to be making profit, and it's a good way of teaching you how to get to grips with cranes and stuff. So yeah, it's probably my only bugbear, is that you've got these contracts on forest map but not on your normal maps. It seems like it's putting content behind a paywall that doesn't really need to be there. Here we are in Silverrun. We are at the top sawmill, or the old sawmill, which has a very unique way of loading in the logs compared to other places where you just go to a marked point and press R to sell your wood. You actually have to reverse down into the lake, and it will take the wood automatically one by one and lift it into the sawmill itself, which is really cool and unique and very rustic in style. All of the crossings are just these wooden planks, so you do have to make sure that if you are carrying anything, that your tractor is, or your truck is powerful enough to actually get over the planks, because I did have it yesterday where they were not, and I struggled quite a lot. The entire map in general is not only huge but very, very pretty, and continues with this sort of rustic, more old school sort of style of design, where everything is just reminds you of something that you'd see in like the 60s maybe. Lots of wood, lots of sort of country and western vibes almost, but modernized in a way. I'm describing it very poorly. However, it is stunning to look at. I love the way that the railway follows the road, and you can see different tracks, and the water looks incredible. You can see where there is dead wood that you can go and very feasibly take out. There is a decent amount of traffic on the map, and the road itself, the main roads at least, are very, very wide and easy to travel down, which, considering the sort of tools and equipment that you're probably going to be using, is a good thing. In the town area itself, you have a lot going on. You've got plenty of sell points and production lines, and I'm tipping my truck. Plenty to sort of go through. Everything can be bought, which means that you can then start making stuff. And again, you've got lots of houses, and compared to, say, Elms Creek, which feels very dead, this feels very, very much alive. It feels like there's a lot going on all the time, and it's a joy to just drive around, honestly. It looks really, really good. Now, earlier I did say that there was a feature on this map that I hope comes in with new ones, and that's that you can build the roller coaster. You can build this thing. It's part built, and the idea is that you deposit certain materials that you're going to need in order to complete it. So if you come over here, you will see in the bottom right hand corner what you need. So you need wood beams, planks, planks long, metal, floor tiles, and staircase railing, which I think is really, really awesome. I love the fact that you can complete it with the, you know, set amounts that you need, and then you can actually get on the roller coaster when it's finished and have a ride and see what it's all about. I think this is really, really awesome. This is, in my opinion, what makes this map worth it, because you can build towards it. Like, I haven't done anything yet because I'm just trying to make as much money as possible so that I can then start storing as opposed to distributing and making. But it is genuinely awesome, and that's just the next step. And then once you've done that, you'll get more steps and more steps and more steps. So yeah, really, really awesome feature of this map. I think it's fantastic. Moving further on, like I say, there is some arable that you can do. You've got your shop, and you've got your bales and stuff that you can do as well, which is really awesome. And it just sort of completes the map. I have had so much fun logging, so much fun transporting logs and smashing rocks, and just really learning new skills within the game that you wouldn't really otherwise have used. So as you can see, I'm about to bale on this field here, And then you can go into the construction menu and buy a mining tower, which I would then assume, because I've not done it yet, would start mining materials like metal and things and ore that you can then turn into metal and go from there. There are a lot of bridges on this map because we're high up. There is a massive river that goes all the way through. And again, the railway follows that. And it's pretty. The entire map, the lighting, it's just very pretty and ultimately a delight. Now, because we are in the mountains and we're in quite a, obviously a foresty built up area, certain points on the map can be quite difficult to get to because you're going uphill. And a lot of the machinery doesn't deal very well with going uphill quickly. Like it can do it, but it doesn't like doing it. And again, as you can see, it takes quite a lot of driving time to get where you're going. It takes a lot of time to get to the thing that you want to get to start doing what you want to do. So realistically, outside of contracts, what you're going to do, or what you're going to want to do, is buy a piece of land and then spread out from that, so you're not doing that much travel time. Obviously, once you've got a truck and a trailer to transport your logs, if you're just cutting logs down and going to the sawmill and stuff, it doesn't actually take that long, which is good. But that's probably where I would say the biggest negative on this map is. The biggest negative is the travel time. But it's also the biggest plus because the scenery is so good, so I don't actually mind because I just take it all in. Honestly, the Platinum DLC is, in my opinion, one of the best DLCs of the game because it adds so much. You obviously get the different contracts you get with this map, you get this map as a whole, you get the quest with the map, you get all the different Volvo equipment, you get all the forestry equipment, you get some extra forklift equipment, you get a lot for your money. And this map coming with the Platinum DLC, in my eyes, really solidifies that the DLC is very, very much worth your time. Let me know in those comments down below if you agree. Let me know if you've ever done login. Let me know if you enjoy login. But if you haven't, I would highly recommend getting the Platinum DLC and having a bloody good go. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you all next time. Ciao, ciao.